It's Rockstar T, the president, in the building. How y'all doing? I'm gonna touch on the subject a little bit. I'm just giving people time to come into the chat. But if they late, they can always watch the replay. Anyway, I'm laid down. What did we have, baby? Corned beef. What was it that you brought me back? What was it that you brought me back, baby? What was all on that spectacular plate? Huh? Who? Ain't no wasn't no damn potatoes and spaghetti. It was corned beef. Man, there wasn't no baked potatoes. That was that nasty ass. Oh, I ain't trying to even say it like that. Cause I'm grateful for what they packed on that plate for me. But it was a stuffed cabbage with some ground beef. That was my least favorite. But the spaghetti was on point. The spaghetti was on point. The corned beef was magnificent. And what else? Then that the reason why I'm fucked up right now, y'all, the sweet potato pie and that lemon cake, man. That shit got me. I can't be eating all that shit like that. I couldn't even finish that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm all. Nah, you can't have the banana pudding. That banana pudding. I gotta have me my banana pudding, y'all. Anyway, man, how was y'all holidays, man? How was y'all Christmas? You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming. What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? Thank y'all. What up, man? Hey, say, did they rob the UPS man? No, man. They ain't robbed the UPS man. I'm talking about the famous UPS, the niggas that act like they was some UPS and they killed their family. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that. I don't talk about it, but it's like this. I wanna go a little bit more in depth about it. I got a little bit more people in the room now, so I want to go a little bit more in depth about that situation. Listen, in my lifetime, when you're a drug dealer, and Rockstar T, I don't want to go back to my drug dealing days when I was a drug dealer for 2 weeks, because I was, pussy rip. I ain't gonna say I was in love. I was just pussy rip and head rip. You know what I'm saying? And I sold drugs for 2 weeks. And God, lifted me up out of that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Lifted me. God lifted me up out of that lifestyle because I probably, wouldn't be here or locked up. But, huh? My thing is this, y'all. When you in that lifestyle, when you into the drug gang, I didn't say gang, I said gang, GAME. When you into the drug game, it's things that come along with it. Now you're gonna get the money, you're gonna get the flashy, you're gonna get the money, you're gonna get the flashy jewelry, the clothes, the cars, the women, you're gonna get all that. I noticed that some drug dealers that I've seen, they low key with it. They ain't driving the Mercedes, the BMWs, the Corvettes, the Lambos, all that, them high end, they ain't wearing fleshy jewelry. Those are the smart ones. Those are the smart ones. That's not, you know what I'm saying? They not gonna put themselves out there to get attention. But but the caveat to being a drug dealer, you're gonna always have rival drug dealers that's jealous, envy, It's a competition. It's who got the territory. You're gonna have crackheads that might want to get some crack on credit, and you say no, so they're gonna get mad and tell the other drug dealer or turn informant on you. You're gonna have, I mean, you got, when you a drug dealer, yeah, you're gonna get that part of life where you're gonna have money. The money gonna come. Because when I was a drug dealer for 2 weeks, the money was coming. I thought I was Tony Montana up in that motherfucker. Didn't even have a gun. The only gun I had was that Transformer gun. Remember that Transformer gun? Who's the leader of the Transformers? You had Optimus Prime as that pickup truck. Huh? Optimus Prime is the leader of the Autobots. Who was the leader of the Decepticons? He was a gun. What's the leader? Anybody in here know who the leader of the Decepticons is? What was he called? Cobra? Was it Cobra? Was Cobra? No, that's G.I. Joe. Right. That's G.I. Joe. That's G.I. Joe. Who was the, can anybody in here tell me who was the leader of the Decepticons? Can anybody tell me who was the leader? Can anybody tell me who was the leader? We got, somebody said my daddy was the leader. We got a troll. We got a confused fan up in here. We got a confused fan up in here. Yeah, you know, you know, as long as the trolls don't get too disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, when you live in that lifestyle, man, you got to constantly watch over your shoulders. You feel me? You got to constantly watch over your shoulders. So let me fast forward to the UPS killing. I come to find out that the father was being investigated for being a drug mule or a plug. You know, he either was the one that was bringing in the drugs or holding, you know, hiding the drugs, or he was the one, he was a major supplier. That's what I'm hearing. They say he was being investigated by the narcos for being a major supplier. So my thing is this: when you are living that type of lifestyle and you got your family around it, I'm not saying that nobody deserves to go out like that, okay? But when you live in that type of lifestyle, oh baby, go ahead and get in the comments so I can make you a mod. Jump in the comments. Is that what you're watching right now? Okay, get back in the comments and I can make you a mod. Anyway, when you live in that type of lifestyle, certain things, good things come with it: the money, cars, jewelry, women. But then bad things come along with it too. You got to worry about rival drug dealers, the jack boys, the you know, years ago we were staying next to a trap house. Them motherfuckers either was getting raided by the police or either robbed. They was either getting raided by the police or robbed. So that comes along with it. When people know that you, what I'm trying to say is, when people know that you got money, you automatically are a target. So I'll never understand this in a million years. If you move in rate like that, if you move in drugs and you the supplier, and you got, you know, anytime when you a supplier, you got money. You got the dope, you got the drugs, you got all that shit. This father, which I have to blame it on him. At the end of the day, I have to blame it on him. He put his family at risk living that lifestyle. Now, this is what I would never understand in a million years. They was cameraed up. They had cameras outside the house, across the street from the house, inside the house. Every room literally had a camera. Did you comment? Wait a minute, let me see. Can I find it? I don't see. What's your name on here?
My name.
Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. Let me mod you. I'm about to mod you right now. Add as moderator. Uh, I'm gonna make you a managing moderator. So when you go back in, you can have a wrench next to your name. Let me make sure that I modded you. Yep, you a moderator now. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, y'all, what kind of dumb, idiotic, stupid shit is this to have cameras all in your house but no weaponry? You don't have no weapons, but you got cameras. I just don't understand. Maybe he was thinking that he might get raided, and if the police raid his house and they find the drugs and they find drugs plus guns, he would get more time. That's the only logical conclusion I can come with. But anytime when you a plug and you the supplier and you got drugs, you gotta have guns to protect your life. You gotta, cause you once when you sign up to be a drug dealer, you are number one, you are a target. That's number one. You are a target. Anytime when you become a drug dealer, you know what I'm saying? You are a target. So it I just don't get how they went out of their way to put all those cameras into that house, and they didn't have not one gun, because the way that robbery went down, if they would have had a gun, if they would have had a gun, they would still be alive. At least most of them would have still been alive. The wife, the mother, the wife, she had time to pick up her phone, dial 911, and call the police. She didn't hang the phone up. So the operator, the dispatch, they heard everything from them bagging. They heard them being beat on, pistol whipped. They heard the gunshots. They heard them being murdered. And guess what, y'all? The police didn't get there in time to save those people. No, number one, you're a drug dealer. You got cameras throughout your house, but you didn't have a gun. And now I'm not saying that they deserve what happened to them, but I am blaming the responsibility on the father, who was the drug dealer. He put his family in harm's way. Okay? If I decided to sell drugs, number one, I'm not going to do the shit where I live at. Where I'm not going to do the shit, I'm not going to do it where my family at. Under the roof where my family stay. Because not only am I putting myself in danger, but I'm putting my entire family in danger. You know, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do that somewhere else by myself. And I guarantee you that I am going to be armed. But I would never ever stoop to in that lifestyle again. I'm glad it was only 2 weeks. But when I did it for that 2 weeks, it was an abundance of money. And the only thing that got me up out of there is my brother wanted that house that my daddy owned. And he got in cahoots with dad, and it was like, get him up out of there. And that's what broke that up. Because I'm telling you, I fell into that lifestyle. The money it was abundance of money, hundreds of dollars a day. No, not a day, hundreds of dollars an hour. And I didn't even have a gun. I had that transformer gun. Don't clown me too hard. Don't roast me too hard. But nigga, I had the I had the thing on there where you had a gun like this up under your armpit. You know, that vest shit, that vest, the holster vest. And I'm walking around opening the fucking door with the gun in my fucking vest holster, and it's a fucking toy gun. I'm like, man, what the fuck? I mean, I was about to get me a real one, but my brother and my father interrupted that plan, and I'm glad I'm glad that they did because no, this is a true story. I'm not making this up. I did tell you that. You got a toy gun walking around with? Why you gotta clown me now? Why you got to clown me now? I mean, I was a lot younger, and I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Don't clown me though. Don't roast me like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was that Transformer gun. Whoever the leader of the Decepticon, Megatron. Yeah, Megatron. I had the Megatron gun. So I guess my damn Freak Nation said, "How you gonna criticize old dude when you did the same thing?" You know what? I own up to my fuck shit. That was some stupid ass shit. I own up to it. And I'll never ever do that shit again. And it only lasted for 2 weeks. I wasn't no supplier. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to pay off a bitch drug debt because I was at the time, I was pussy whipped over this woman named Maria, a Mexican. And she fucked up some money and they was about to fuck her up. They was about to really, really fuck her up. And I was like, don't fuck up my woman. Don't fuck my woman up. I'll pay. Look, I'll work for you until I pay her debt off. That's how it went. I only did this shit because I was pussy whipped at the time. That's the only reason. Huh? But what I'm saying, this dude, he was a major plug. You know what I'm saying? He was a major plug. He was moving shit. He was moving that heavy shit. And they targeted him. And my thing is, it's like, you had all those cameras, but you didn't have no kind of weaponry. You didn't have no guns. And in that situation, if they would have just had one gun, they would still be here, or the majority of them would have still been here. That father got his entire family wiped out because of the choices that he made. I'm not by no means glorifying being a drug dealer. If you know, and at the same time, I'm not condemning, or I'm not no God where I can judge somebody and people do what they do to survive. You know what I'm saying? I come from the hood. Some of the most coolest people that I ever knew, man, they had to do what they had to do to get over. Wasn't no jobs plenty. They wasn't getting no help or nothing like that. So they had to do what they had to do. So no judgment here. This is Gun Free Nation and no judgment zone. But all I'm saying is, if you're going to do some shit like that, he was supposed to have had some guns up in their house, and they supposed to have been ready for a robbery. When you a drug dealer, you got to expect that sooner or later somebody gonna target you to rob you, and you need to be armed. You know what I'm saying? It's a shady ass lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And if you smart about it, you're gonna sell your drugs and get your money up, and then go legal. Get you a legal business. How do you think a lot of these motherfucking Fortune 500 companies got started, man? And now they successful and shit. Some of the most brilliant motherfuckers, nigga. If you could sell drugs, nigga, you could be a CEO of your own fucking business, a legitimate business. If you are smart, I never did understand a motherfucker that's came up in the drug game and they ain't open up a legitimate business. You know what I'm saying? And some of them are smart enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's a business. Street pharmacy. It's a business. But where he fucked up, he didn't have no guns. He had no freaking guns. That's just like me. I've had a lot of high-end guns, and I still got some high-end guns. A motherfucker spot me and be like, that's that nigga Rockstar T, aka TElectrik. That nigga got like 20, 30 guns. Back in the day, I had like 30 guns, high-end guns. I could sit 4 of my guns on my bed, and that's $20,000. Damn near $20,000. 4 out of 27. You understand? So if a nigga saw that, if a savage saw that, Oh man, I saw that nigga on YouTube. That nigga got, man, he got the collection right there. Let's pretend that we a fan and let's follow that nigga back and figure out where the hell he live at, and then we're gonna come back at a later time and pay him a visit because we want them guns. He might not have no money, he might not have no drugs, but he got the guns. You feel me? The nigga got the guns. So when I realized I might be out there in Westland and Canton in the suburbs, sometimes in the hood, people will be like, hey, what up though, T? I watch your channel. Man, I fuck with you. I'm like, damn, I'm starting to get, I've had people want to take pictures with me. I said, man, y'all niggas got me feeling like I'm a rock star. Like I'm a movie star or something, a rock star. Like, can I get a picture with you? And that's when I'm like, you know what? I said, what if I get noticed by the wrong person? What if it's a savage? He may even act like he don't even know me. You know what I'm saying? But he secretly and quietly watches me. That's why every time when I'm driving, I pay attention to whoever behind me to see if they tracking me, see if they following me, because a lot of motherfuckers would love to know where I live at so they can try to pay me a visit. But I will say this. If you do attempt to try to rob me and come to my home, that'll be your last time. That would be the last mistake, the biggest mistake, literally the biggest mistake of your life, because I'm not gonna go out like that. I'm not going out like no sucker. And it's just ridiculous that this guy put his family at risk, man. Y'all saw them toddlers, man. Those were babies. How you gonna, oh man, that's the part that hurt me the most. The two babies that the oldest child, you got to give it to him, man. They need somebody like Mr. Organic said. Somebody need to set up a college fund for that, for both of them, really. But for him, the little baby, it was a little baby, couldn't be no more than 1 year old, 2 years old, barely can walk, crying on his dead mom. The oldest baby could have been no more than about 2 years old or 3 years old, grabbed his little sibling away from his mother's dead body and tried to cover him from not saying that, man. That shit right there, man. I cried when I saw that shit. I cried when I saw that shit, my nigga. And that little his big brother or whoever that is, he's a hero in my opinion. He's a fucking hero. But I blame the father, the ain't shit father. I blame the father for that, because you chose, and I'm not judging you for the lifestyle that you chose, but you don't never shit where you live. I mean, technically you do shit where you live at, you know, everybody got to take a shit. But what I'm trying to say is you don't do no criminal dangerous shit and bring it back to your family where you live. You don't do that shit. So yeah, when the robbers got word, hey man, the drug dealers stay at the house. It might have been a rival drug dealer that tipped them off. They was like, go rob that motherfucker. It's $100,000 in drugs and money in their house. And when they got inside their house and they put the guns to their head, they was like, where the money at? Where the money at? They took their life. And once when they killed the father, because one of them didn't have a mask on, guess what? Once when they killed the father, they had to kill the mother and the 20-year-old son, because they didn't want to leave no witnesses, man. Now, y'all know I've been talking about violent home invasions for like 8 years now. And everything that went down is everything I've been telling y'all for the last 8 years. I've been telling y'all, look, get armed. I've been telling y'all, look, 911, that ain't it, because the police not going to get there in time. Even though this woman was on the phone pleading and begging for the police to come, they did not make it there in time to save her life, her husband's life, her 20-year-old son's life. And I'll never understand if you live in that lifestyle, even if you are not a drug dealer, you got to be armed. You got to. It's savages out there that just don't care. They don't give a damn about you. You know what I'm saying? You got to be armed, man. And what hurt me the most was seeing the two toddlers, man. They gonna be scarred and traumatized for the rest of their lives because of the choice that they ain't shit father. Because you know a lot of people blaming the mama too. I'm not blaming the mother. I mean, she decided her man was a drug dealer, and you know, but if you got a family and you the man of that house, you got to make sure no matter what that they are protected. You got to protect your family. You got to protect your castle. Your home is your castle, and you got to protect it. I just don't understand. And this is not the first time I've heard of people. Yeah, T, man, ain't nobody gonna come near my house. I got a big ass pit bull. I got two pit bulls. I got cameras all around the house. But brother, where is the gun? All that is an early warning sign. That's gonna tip you off that danger is coming your way. So how is you gonna repel that danger once they gain entry into your house? You see what the results of that UPS robbery was. Y'all see the results. So I'm telling y'all, I know I'm preaching to the crowd. We got some idiots in here, some trolls and shit that want my attention. You know what I'm saying? But I enjoy y'all trolls. You feel me? Y'all make it entertaining. But don't get too disrespectful. I'm gonna have to get you up out of here. Get you in Funky Town. You feel me? You feel me? But I'm just saying, man, looking at those that family get slaughtered like that, man. I don't understand. You came real strong with them cameras, but you was weak as fuck that you didn't have a gun to back you up, man. Because while the father was being murdered, beat down, they pistol whipped him, manhandled him, roughed him up, and then ultimately they blew his brains out. That took some time to do that because they was like, where the money at? Where the money at? Where the money at? She on the phone, the wife, the mother on the phone dialing 911 when she's supposed to have been picking up that fucking gun and coming out that fucking room blasting. Blasting. You understand? I wish a motherfucker would come up in this bitch. I wish a motherfucker would come up in here trying to take my shit and violate me and my family. Nah, it ain't gonna go down that way, man. And if you a drug dealer and you watching this, by no means, I'm not trying to glorify that lifestyle. That all that lifestyle gonna do is get you killed or get your freedom taken away. Because I'm telling you, the money is good, the women, the cars, the jewelry, whatever. The money is good, but you also it comes with a lot of fucked up shit, man. You got to constantly look over. It's a lot of haters in the world, man. If you got money, if people know you got money, you automatically a target, man. You're going to get worried to death by your friends and family. Hey, man, help me out on my rent this month. I know you got the money. You know what I'm saying? Then when you say no, them motherfuckers will turn on you and might even set you up. You can't trust nobody. And I'm talking about life in general. No, do you want to talk about something that we discussed earlier about when you was a lot younger, or you good on that? What? When you said you was in the drug house, the dope house.
Well, I knew, well, of course, me and my best friend knew some drug dealers, and we used to hang with them. And we seen a
So
lot of
you
stuff.
and your friend knew some drug
And
dealers.
we used to hang with them. So we seen a lot of
How
stuff.
old were you at this point?
16.
You were 16 years old, and you were hanging out with. So what was it about the drug dealers that impressed you at 16 years old?
I ain't gonna say it was impressive at the time. Being so young minded, I didn't care what a person's occupation was. I just didn't care. It didn't matter to me. I didn't realize how serious it was and how dangerous the lifestyle was.
So at the time, if you was feeling a person, you didn't care what their occupation was. You just liked it, that person.
Mm-hmm.
And so you hung out with them.
Mm-hmm.
So you was actually in a dope spot.
Yeah.
At 16.
Yeah.
So where was your parents?
Working.
They were working?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they didn't know what you was doing.
Exactly. I wasn't doing nothing bad, but I just didn't realize I was in the. I could have gotten hurt or went to jail myself with it.
So how would you end up in the dope house though? They would be like, "Hey, come with me to the spot and just chill." They had you selling drugs for them?
No, they lived down the street from my best friend.
So they lived
That's
down
how
the
we ended
street.
up meeting them, walking to the stuff. And they was like, "Come chill." And we just chill. That's it.
Was people like customers coming to the house and buying drugs and shit?
Doing drugs in the house.
Wait a minute, it was people doing drugs in the house in front of you.
Yeah. Well, they be in separate rooms, but we knew what they was doing.
Oh, so they'd go off to a room off to the side. You could smell that shit too, couldn't you?
I can't really tell you if I knew how it smelled or not because I wasn't in the room with them.
Well, that dirty bitch that I was with, Maria, man, she was smoking that shit and blowing it all in my face and shit. And was like, try it. I'm like, bitch, get that stanky ass shit off my face. I don't even like smoking weed. And I damn sure ain't gonna smoke no motherfucking crack. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a fucking lifestyle, man, that it's dangerous as fuck. So what made you realize did you realize that when you was in that drug spot that at any moment it could have been robbers coming up in there and you know what I'm saying? It could have been robbers coming up in there to rob them, and when they come up in there, sometimes they unaliving everybody in that joint.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could have been raided by the police.
It did. That's what made.
Whoa! You didn't tell this.
No, not while we was there, but we had just left.
You just left, and it got raided by the police.
And we see one of them running up the alley. He come running towards us. We like, what's going on? He said he just raided. He got away though. He's running. I said we just left there.
Y'all hear this shit?
Like we could have went to jail too.
So what made you leave them alone?
When that happened.
Was those the same drug dealers you said had that old ass limousine and they was driving around the hood in that limousine?
No, they wasn't drug dealers.
Oh, okay. Well, how did these niggas get a limousine?
Their family had money.
Was it a new limousine or old ass limousine?
It was an old one. They put sounds in the door and painted it. It was nice though.
So you mean to tell me, baby, that you was driving around in a motherfucking limousine?
We used to be riding that way all the time.
You was in the back seat?
We was always riding, yeah. We was riding.
So did it feel like you was a celebrity or something? Because, I had a relative that had a limousine, but that motherfucker was like a 1978 Lincoln. That motherfucker, it was a long-ass motherfucking limousine.
It was an older one, but it wasn't that old.
The one thing about that old motherfucker, it had some songs in that bitch. Mm. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, let me get in this motherfucker and let me ride it. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody know about my cousin Freddie King. Freddie King back in the 80s. Freddie King, that nigga was making like $50,000 to $60,000 a week. Cause that nigga Freddie King had about, Freddie King might have been making like 100,000. At least Freddie King had, you do the math on this. I ain't never really been good in math. Freddie King had about 4 or 5 crack houses. And every day, from what was told, that nigga each crack house was bringing in $10,000 to $15,000 a day. So you do the math. If he had 4 or 5 of them bitches, and each one was bringing in over $10,000 a day, this is why Freddie King, when he would come over and visit us, our cousin, that nigga would, back then, I don't know if y'all remember this shit, but it was a car. Every nigga wanted this car. This nigga had a gold Fiero. Remember them Fieros? You remember those Fieros for real? Mm-hmm. A Fiero. That nigga had a gold Fiero. I'm talking about this had to be at least 1985, 1986. My cousin Freddie King had a gold Fiero. Remember back then? Do you remember back then? So you was born in the 80s, so you probably don't remember this. But Honda had these mopeds. There was Honda mopeds. He had the biggest, baddest one. And then back in the 80s, they had pickup trucks that was convertible pickup trucks. That nigga had a convertible pickup truck. That nigga had a Corvette. And then a nigga that my brothers knew, a nigga named Polly, lived right there on Artmore. Or was it Mark Twain? No, Polly lived over on Artmore. That nigga, when he was broke, that nigga was working at Northland. He was working at 31 Flavors at Northland. That's an ice cream parlor. Remember 31 Flavors? And it was at Northland Mall out there in Southfield. Northland Mall. That nigga used to work there. That nigga started selling drugs. Next thing you know, he got so big that he was supplying the drugs to my cousin Freddie King. So if Freddie King making 100,000 a week, at least more than 100,000 a week, can you imagine the type of money that Polly ass was making? But where Polly fucked up, that dumbass nigga went to the airport and he tried to smuggle some drugs onto the airplane, and they caught his ass. When that nigga got out 10 years later, when that nigga got out like 15 years later, he tried to holler at my woman at the time, Maria. He tried to get his pickle sucked by Maria, because Maria, you got to remember, man, Maria didn't look like a typical crackhead. Maria was like she was not cross-eyed, baby. She was not cross-eyed. She was not cross-eyed.
I see her.
You saw the video when she was sucking my dick? You saw the video when she was sucking my dick. I showed you that video of Maria sucking my dick.
Job she was doing, yeah.
Huh? I showed you the video of her sucking my pickle. She wasn't cross-eyed.
Kind of like a pistol.
But her hair went all the way down to her ass.
You can't see.
Her hair went all the way down to her ass. Whatever. And big titties and all that stuff. But what I'm saying, she didn't look like no street bitch or nothing. She looked like one of them high-end, like she could have been in Playboy or something. You feel me? She was one of them.
You don't look at the same person.
You might have been buzzing or something. Because I'm telling you, Maria wasn't ugly. Maria was notorious. If you go back into that area, Wyoming and Plymouth, and mention Maria, she's legendary and iconic. She was the biggest hoe, and I was proud as
your skin and shit.
Huh?
Drugs ruin you. Drugs how you looking.
She didn't look like that though. She didn't look like that. She didn't look like that. You got to give me more credit than that. And then it was something more fucked up about me anyway. I was just a non-judgmental motherfucker. And at that time, I was going through that phase where I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted me a Latino. I wanted me a Hispanic. I wanted me a Hispanic woman. I've been watching that show on Univision called Caliente. And, that's all they showed was some fine-ass, Venezuelan women, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Cuban, all on that beach in them bikinis. So when I laid eyes on Maria, I'm like, oh shit, nigga, my motherfucking fantasy don't came true. I didn't give a fuck. I wanted some of that feisty, fiery, Latino pussy and shit. You know what I'm saying? In the head and all that and shit. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do. I was just a wild ass, vulgar ass nigga back then. I didn't want no regular ass woman. I liked the type of woman to be like, nigga, I'll cut your motherfucking, pickle off if I even, see you looking at another woman. I liked it, the crazy type like that. Like one time, me and Maria was together and I ran into Yvette. Yvette was like a long time family friend. She older than me. And I ran into her at that Save-A-Lot. And, we hugged each other. We're like, hey, Yvette, what's up? Soon as I got in the motherfucking car, Maria asked like, nigga, I'll cut your motherfucking throat. And then she took her motherfucking hands like this, her claws, and then just scratched my motherfucking face and shit, man. And just jumped me and shit. In the middle of me driving. I'm like, this crazy motherfucker. And that's why, she ended up leaving me for her husband. But, like I said, to get back to it, when did you realize that? Did that scare you when they got raided so you didn't go in that drug house no more? What? You went in after that still?
I said, no, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't go back in there no more? Did your parents ever find out?
No.
They never found out. What about your brothers?
No, they didn't know either.
Yeah. But
I told them my brother was very overprotective.
Right.
So I would never told them that.
Yeah, because you said they chased some nigga off that was trying to like you. R. Kelly motherfucker.
No, he wasn't that old.
Oh, he wasn't that old?
Yeah, they chased him out the neighborhood. I ain't never seen him again after that day.
God damn. But that's what big brothers do. That's what good big brothers do. You feel me? They gonna protect their little sis. But getting back to it, that lifestyle, man, that ain't it. That's not it. And because of the lifestyle that the father chose, it got basically his entire family, besides the two topless, killed. Like if I was to go into selling drugs, which I would never do, I wouldn't bring that shit. I would not bring that shit home to my family. Be selling out of the house I live in, man. Fuck that. You that's stupidity right there. You never. It's crazy, man. But everybody know Detroit. Detroit got some legendary drug dealers, all the way from Maserati Rick to who else? You got Maserati Rick, you got the Chamberlain brothers, you got who else? Best Friends, which was them niggas started off being hitmen. You know what I'm saying? And then they started killing off the drug. It used to be drug dealers hiring best friends to take out rival drug dealers. Then them niggas was like, fuck it, we gonna start selling drugs ourselves. So they started robbing and killing the drug dealers that used to hire them. And that's how they took over. But everybody know why what was it, baby? Young Boys Incorporated. YBI? Young Boys Incorporated. Everybody know who they are. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's like, anytime when you decide to go into that lifestyle, man, you risking your life and you risking your freedom. You know what I'm saying? You risking your life and you risking your freedom. Who that went live, baby? Oh shit, Eastwood and I'm about to go live. Anyway, y'all, man, I had to come on here and just touch on that. I'm like, man, why did they have all those cameras but no guns? Make that shit make sense. They had all those fucking cameras and they had no guns, man. Rest in peace to them. And you know what? Y'all stay prayed up. Y'all stay ready. I'm about to end this live and we about to play some motherfucking Jeopardy. We about to play some Jeopardy, baby. Watchstar T in the building. And all my trolls, man. Hey, trolls. Y'all say some shit. I get it. Y'all love me. Y'all can't get enough of me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all love me because for you to be a stranger and don't personally know me and to insult me or try to insult me, it tells a lot about yourself, that you really like me and that you're trying to get my attention and you might be trying to get a reaction out of me. You know what I'm saying? And I give it to you, long as y'all don't be too crazy with it, because I'm not gonna lie, y'all make this shit fun. Y'all make this entertaining. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that my real Gun Freak Nation people, y'all gonna rock with me and fuck with me regardless. And I know if somebody say something too crazy, my mod's gonna get them up out of there. You know what I'm saying? But are you ready to do the Jeopardy? Yeah. Okay. Burner Girl says she might join. Is that cool? Burner Girl, if you watch it, she says she don't care. She don't care. So if you want to join the what categories do you want? What you like to play? Like movies, R&B, music, movies, categories like that. Mm-hmm. The usual. You know what I'm saying?
Christmas one.
Right. But listen, y'all. The choice that father made got his family wiped out, man. He lost his life. His wife lost his life. His oldest son, 20 years old. And I felt bad for the 20-year-old son. You can tell that he was a good kid. And at one point, when they made him lay down on the floor and he heard his father getting killed, he jumped up and he tried to run. And I'm like, man, damn. So I'm not saying we not saluting that shit, man. We not saluting that. But I'm telling you that if you watching this video, I'm not judging you. I cannot judge you. Only God can judge. But if you are into that lifestyle, I wish you the best. And I hope you get your money. But when you get your money, go legit, man. Start a legitimate business. Open you up a car wash. Open you up, just open you up. Get out of the lifestyle before you lose your life. Because ain't nothing good in them streets, man. Ain't nothing good in them streets. You know what I'm saying? I remember when me and Maria used to get into it. And when we moved in with my parents and my mother a preacher, they didn't want her in the house. And I said, well, Mama and Dad, if she can't come in, I ain't coming in. But it was like, well, your ass just ain't gonna come in here then. But when winter struck, they couldn't fathom the idea of their son being out there in the cold, living in his car with his slut. So they let us in. But when she came in, Mama cleaned that whore up. At first, Mama kind of treated her bad. She wasn't even good enough to wash Mama's dishes. And then sometimes she would wear a sheer shirt and the nipples all out. She had big titties, bigger than my head. Like I got two heads. That's how big her titties was. Firm. You would swear up and down that she had fake breasts. What they call it, breast implants. But she didn't. So Mama would accuse my father from time to time looking at her. And Dad would be like, I ain't looking at her. I ain't, but that's any woman gonna think some shit like that because they knew what she was about. They seen her out there in them streets. But when we got up under their roof, she left that street shit alone. She left that lifestyle alone. I remember one time when we was living at my brother's house, the same brother that got together with my father and got me kicked out of that house. And the only reason why that nigga Bug done that shit because Bug ass was about to get kicked out of his fucking house. So we went to his house that he was already about to get evicted. One time we got into an argument. We got into it. That bitch robbed me blind. Even took the pennies from the fucking the penny jar, the change jar. I had a big ass jar that I would keep extra coins and shit in. She took my wallet, she took my coins, and I didn't have no money. I said, you know what? Because there wasn't no cell phones back then. I said, God damn, I ain't even got 30 cents to my name to get on the payphone to call my parents to be like, come pick me up. So I was standing in front of the store. Hey, man, you got a quarter? Your boy T had to be a panhandler for a minute. And man, motherfuckers, I'm going to tell you something right now. Get a job. Oh, you a bum. Oh, man, you ain't got... Oh my God, man. Niggas can be so fucked up. That's why to this day, I don't give a fuck whether I think you a crackhead or you somebody legitimately in need. I purposely ride around in my Cadillac with at least $30 to $40 in change. And anytime when somebody say, sir, can you help me out? I'll reach in there in my armrest and grab a handful of change like I'm grabbing a ass, a big booty, like I'm grabbing my woman's ass. And I hand it to him because I know what it feel like, even though I wasn't no real bum motherfucker like that. I had money, but I know how it felt. And that's why that situation taught me in life, no matter where you stand in life, never judge somebody. Never judge somebody because you don't know their circumstances. You never walked in their shoes. And always try to be fair. Always try to be down the middle and look at it from their perspective and look at it from your perspective. You know what I'm saying? When you do that, you try to you balance yourself out, man. Don't never just be one-sided. Open your mind. That's why I'm not going to judge. Well, I'm not going to judge the guy for selling drugs, but what I am going to judge him for, rightfully so, is that he chose to put his family in danger. Because anytime when you a drug dealer, you are living a dangerous lifestyle. And he had all of the cameras, high-end cameras, but he did not have any guns. So the buck stops with you. It's you being the man. It is your responsibility to protect your family. Not only did he put his family in danger, he got his family along with himself killed. And it's fucked up. And now his two little toddlers, man, they're gonna be traumatized for the rest of their lives. But the bigger kid, the bigger toddler, if you ask me, that little kid is a hero. Because he's tried to shield his little sibling away from all that death and destruction that they witness. No child should have to see their family, their parents, their mom, their dad brutally just murdered like that, man. I even felt bad for the 20-year-old. I have a son that's 21 years old. And watching that video, you can see the innocence of that 20-year-old. It wasn't his fault that his father decided to be a drug dealer and put him in that lifestyle. When them UPS men went to their house and they was getting ready to walk away, it was a 20-year-old son that went out there to see, they had a big ass box. I could see myself back in the day doing some dumb shit like that. You feel me? This is the same, I won't do stuff that I did 3-4 years ago when I let the Mormons come in. I let all, and it ain't a lot of people got on me. Why you let all those white men in your house? I'm like, man, I ain't judging them because they right. They were Mormons and they Seventh-day Adventists. So I let them in and we was kicking it. And I found out that they like guns. So I was trusting enough to go upstairs in my room, get the guns, bring them down, and show them my guns. And then I would leave the guns in the living room to go upstairs to go get more guns. And when I come back downstairs, they in my living room taking pictures with my guns. That's how infamous my guns were. They were taking pictures, and I respected them for that. One time, I even allowed them up in my bedroom, and they was like, "T, why you let 4 white men in your room?" I'm like, I didn't feel like bringing all of the guns. They wanted to come see the guns. I didn't feel like bringing them down. But they were good people at the end of the day. I can sense when somebody is good or evil. I can sense that. It's the God in me. I can size a person up. But would I ever do that again? Hell no. Because there's been so many people unalive because of imposters. Like 2 years ago when they pretended to be DTE, the electrical workers, and they went out in Rochester Hills and they unalived that guy. These motherfuckers, these savages here pretended to be UPS men. And they unalived that family, man. But what I'm telling you, if you are in the drug game, and that's how you make your money, first and number one, don't do that shit where you live at. Don't do that shit where your family at. I don't give a fuck if you just selling weed, and weed is legal now in Michigan. I can go and get me some gummies, some weed. I don't smoke weed. I don't really drink like that, but I do like my gummies. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front on you. I like my gummies. Um, I can never do that where I live, where I lay my head. You know what I'm saying? I can never do that where I lay my head. You feel me? Because that's gonna put your family in danger. I'll die for my family. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure y'all would do that too. And I hope that you never in life get beat down and struggling to the point to where you got to turn to selling drugs. But a lot of people are, because the economy is fucked up. You know, Trump worried about building more warships and battleships and shit when he need to be worried about getting the cost of living down. People out there struggling, people out there catching hell. So guess what? When people don't have no other choice, they can't find a job, or for whatever, bills need to be paid. Some of them resort to illegal activities. I've seen both sides. I've seen both sides. A nigga like me can't judge no motherfucking body. I've seen both sides, so I get it. I've seen people hungry and they had to do what they had to do to survive. I've seen people filling out applications trying to, get jobs, and because they might have fucked up and done something and got a felony, they can't get hired now. And they got to do what they got to do. They ain't out there trying to hurt nobody, or they ain't out there trying to break in nobody's house. And I'm not saying what they're doing by selling drugs is productive for the community, but you got to do what you got to do. And some of them was some of the coolest, nicest motherfuckers I ever met. One of them was a woman, and she sold weed, but she was the nicest woman that I ever knew. My parents knew her. People had to do what they had to do. And don't be fooled. Some of these wealthy, rich motherfuckers that's doing very well in their life right now, them motherfuckers started at the bottom being drug dealers. Trust me on that. They got that money. They got a hold. They got into that money doing some sketchy shit, but they were smart enough to go legit. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. But if you are in that lifestyle and you happen to be watching this video, watch your ass. And don't ever make the mistake like that guy did and not have guns. Don't be stupid like I was. When I was like, man, that had to be about, when I did that stupid shit, it had to be at least about 25 years ago or something like that. I know I was like in my mid-20s, and just the abundance of money that I made, that I paid off Maria's debt in maybe like 2 or 3 days. I paid her debt off. And then I said, you know what, motherfucker? I don't work for you no more. I don't pay her debt off. He was like, but T, you my number one seller. I can't let you go. Bullshit. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to work for myself. You going to be my motherfucking supplier, nigga. Ain't no more motherfucking rules. I'm going to work for my motherfucking self, and you going to be my motherfucking supplier. And the first thing I need from you, I need to find out how much is your fucking guns. The nigga said, I remember the nigga name. The nigga name was Jay. The nigga said, I got a 30, a 32, or either it was either a 32 or a 38 special or some shit like that. I said, nigga, you ain't got no Glock or nothing? He was like, nah, man, all I got is either a 32 or a 38. How much for the 38? I think that nigga said 150 or some shit like that. It wasn't a lot of money. I said, nigga, bring me that motherfucking 38 special. But before all that shit went down, my brother Bug, rest in peace to the nigga. I love you, big bro. He got the nigga, something happened where they didn't pay their rent or whatever. They was getting ready to get evicted. So he got in my father's ear, our father's ear, It was like, can you get T out of the house? I think T doing some crazy shit up in that house, and he got all kind of hoes up in there. He got the biggest hoe daddy living in your house. He got that hoe Maria. I don't even know how that nigga knew about her, unless he had her too. I know my brother Rob had her, and I know my cousin Pookie had her. So they got together, and Dad came over and was like, you got to get the fuck out. And then what made things even fucking worse, that while my father was over there telling me I had to go, fucking crackheads and shit was coming up to the fucking house trying to buy crack. And he was like, your ass really got to go now. So that decision ultimately saved my life. You feel me? It saved my life. It saved my life, and it saved my freedom. And that's why I'm here to tell y'all not to make the same dumb, choices that I made. You know what I'm saying? You live and you learn. You know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna try to steer a motherfucker into the right direction. You know what I'm saying? I ain't one of them niggas, oh, well, bump your head. I mean, you ain't got to listen. Sometimes you gotta let a motherfucker bump their own head. That's the only way they gonna learn. You feel me? But yeah, man, back in my early, 20s and mid 20s, man, I was a wild ass nigga, man. I didn't give two fucks, man, And I'm just glad to still be here. But like I said, it's something about that video of that family being slaughtered like that, man. It haunts me, man. And it's like everything I ever said in the last 8 years about these violent home invasions. The only thing that didn't happen was they didn't try to sexually assault the woman. They didn't try to do that. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, usually it's some type of, sexual assault gonna happen. But it is what it is, man. But I'm out of here. I'm getting ready to fire up the Jeopardy. Thank y'all for tuning in, even you funky ass trolls. I appreciate you. But yeah, man, if y'all gonna get some cameras, if you gonna go out like that and have cameras all over your house, man, get your weapons up, man. Get that weaponry up in there. You feel me? Get them weapons up in there. Oh, what up? I didn't know you was up in that motherfucker. What up, though? What up, nigga? When you get that goddamn rattler, send me a picture of it, man. It might make me want to get another. Nah, I don't need that rattler. I got my Jacko 300 blackout. What up? And I bet you my Jacko 300 blackout is gonna outshoot your Sig rattler. And I'm just talking my shit because I ain't gonna lie. I miss my rattler. I'm not gonna lie to you. I miss that. I miss that bitch. It's a lot of guns. I got about 2 or 3 of them. I miss, and then the others I really don't care for. I was just buying shit to buy shit off of impulse, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I appreciate that one love, one light, man. And this is why, even though YouTube is robbing me, and it, you remember that time when Rail Dress Tactical super chatted me $50? That shit disappeared. I ain't even get that. Nothing. Zilch. Zilch. Man, they doing me dirty. You feel me? But at this point, it ain't even about the money, man. It's about y'all. You know what I'm saying? I build a connection with people that really do love me, that really do fuck with me. And that's why I love and fuck with y'all. You feel me? Never mind the trolls, the stupid ass trolls. They fans too. They just some confused fans. They emotionally confused because they talk their shit and they talk their shit, but them niggas sitting there and watching me for the rock star that I am. You feel me? They can't stand me, but they can't stand to leave me alone. You dig? So you confused fans, keep it coming, man. It only motivates me. You feel me? You feel me, baby? The laptop is should be charged up. So what the first category you want to be? Like some R&B music or something, or music of the 80s, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You look like you about to fall asleep any second.
I'm buzzing off these shots I just drank.
Oh, you buzzing? Uh-oh! All right, y'all. I'm out this bitch. I'm about to get the laptops. Hey, what up? I'm about to put the link in there, man. Come join us on some Jeopardy. Okay? Join us on some Jeopardy. We about to have some fun on some Jeopardy, man. I love you, man. I like that one love and one light, man. For you to even say some shit like that, brother, I know you got a righteous soul. You got a righteous heart. And that's what it's about. You feel me? That's what it's about, man. Walk T, it ain't nothing but love, respect, and madness. And don't celebrate too hard bringing in the new year because, my nigga, you don't know what the fuck you celebrating. It might be the end of the world in 2026, my nigga. It might be the time in 2026 might be the year that a funky ass savage might try you. So don't celebrate it too hard. We don't know what's in her. You know, Trump got all this bullshit over oil. This shit ain't over no drugs. But dig this shit. Trump don't classify fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. So do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? For you hood and suburban drug dealers, if y'all niggas are selling fentanyl, you are now a narco terrorist, and a drone will come and blow your motherfucking crack house up because he has now classified fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. So you better go back to selling crack. You better go back to selling weed, my nigga, or shrooms or whatever. Don't sell no fucking fentanyl. It's been classified as a weapon of mass destruction. And if it's in your possession, you are now a narco terrorist and they can kill you now. Think about that for a minute. Let that marinate on your brain. Understand? Okay? You got to be ready for the overlay, the underlay of the overlay. And that's what they doing. And then why is everybody attacking Nicki Minaj for going on Turning Point America? Everybody was like, oh, Nicki Minaj has sold out. She done sold her soul to the white man. And why would she want to praise Donald Trump and say Donald Trump is handsome and JD is an assassin? First and foremost, I'm not gay, no Diddy. Donald Trump ain't ugly. The nigga don't get the most spectacular pussy all of his life. Okay? So that's my nigga Trump. Huh? You said Trump is ugly. What make Donald Trump ugly, baby? So you say he might have been decent when he was younger? Donald Trump ain't, no homo. I'm not gay, but real recognize real. You feel me? Real, what up? I'm not gay, but when you came to that CVS when I was doing security and you bought me a Gatorade, I said this nigga is not ugly. I said this nigga, he's a Polish motherfucker and a white motherfucker at that. And he looked like he could be in one of them Hollywood movies you be watching with the comedies with them actors and this shit. You know what up? You not no ugly ass nigga. No homo, no daddy. A nigga recognized, I'm just keeping it real right now. If you see an ugly motherfucker, you thinking, God damn, you an ugly motherfucker. But what up? You ain't ugly. So I really do believe that shit. When you getting pussy in that motherfucking Jaguar or whatever the fuck it is, I believe that shit. And you send me the receipts, nigga. I got all kind of pictures. I don't want my woman mad at me though, cause some of them pictures. But I've been telling you what up. Sometimes from time to time, send me pictures of a bitch sucking his dick or titties or something. Huh? Yeah, I have. Cause I explained it to you, cause I don't want you going through my phone and you saying some shit. You done went through my phone plenty of times. Don't even, you capping right now. We about to turn this subject into something that we don't need to turn it into. Because you have people getting in our business again and calling me disrespectful again, but I'm not going to crash out and do that. And for that first video, I was talking about who I was talking about. But in that second video, the next night, when I was calling somebody ugly, I wasn't talking about that person that you thought I was talking about. Because that person is not ugly. Because if she was ugly, my dick wouldn't have got hard when she was on my podcast. Think about that for a minute. My dick. I told you my dick got hard when she was rubbing her lips with the lip gloss with the big lips.
What the hell are you talking about?
What you talking about? Oh shit! Let me get the fuck on and end this motherfucker live before y'all witness no. Remember when I came in from that live and you said why my dick is on? You said why my dick is hard.
Get beat up on the live. What you?
No, don't you remember when I came when I did that podcast and my dick was erected, my dick was high, and just like, baby, why my dick is so high? And I fucked the shit out of you that night. No, I fucked the shit out of you. Don't remember? You don't remember that?
Stop playing.
You don't remember my dick being hard?
Stop playing.
Okay, I'm playing, baby. I'm sorry.
See, y'all gonna see him get knocked upside his head.
We gonna get this Jeopardy. We gonna get this damn Jeopardy. But anyway, people is calling Nicki Minaj a sellout because they was like, why is she at Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk talked about her. Charlie Kirk talked about Cardi B, Sexy Red, Glorilla, and Nicki Minaj. Charlie Kirk said that they was not role models for African American women, for black women, because all they talk about, all they rap about in their music, in their songs, is rat pussies and nigga this and nigga that. And Charlie Kirk was saying that they was not good role models. So let me ask you this question. Do you think in this case that Charlie Kirk was right when he was like the Sexy Reds, the Glorillas, the Cardi B's, they should not be role models? Would you agree with that, or you disagree with that?
Not for young girls, no. Now, if you're adult, you want to listen to it, that's your choice.
But come on, we know that the young girls are listening to this music.
I don't think little girls should model themselves after what they're saying on their songs.
So Charlie Kirk got in their ass and was like, they detrimental to the black culture because this is the shit that they promoting. They pimping this shit. So a lot of people was like, why would Nicki go on the stage and be with his widow? Number one, why the fuck would Nicki Minaj call JD Vance a fucking assassin knowing that woman husband was assassinated? Why would she say some dumb shit like that? Then she called herself and was like, I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to call JD Vance. And see, I used to like JD Vance. But let me tell you, and I still kind of, I don't like the nigga because to me, JD Vance is fake. JD Vance stopped us from being able to go in a gun shop and buy a suppressor and walk out with the suppressor. He stopped us from being able to put a stock on our AR pistols. You know what I'm saying? Because that parliamentary, whoever this bitch was that took it out of the big beautiful bill, he could have overruled her, he could have fired her, but he approved that shit. So JD Vance, you ain't shit for that. And I used to like you, JD Vance, but I can't fuck with you like that no more. But I don't think Nicki sold out, man. Nicki is trying to get her pedophile brother out of prison, or trying to get Donald Trump to pardon him or get his sentence cut short. Then her husband got caught up in some shit and they trying to lock him up. So it's a reason why Nicki is doing this shit. So she's trying to connect with people that's connected to Trump to try to get a favor done for her. She ain't stupid. But a lot of people was turning on her, saying she's selling out, she's selling her soul, she kissing up to MAGA, whatever the fuck they call themselves. I mean, what's y'all thoughts on Nicki Minaj kissing up to Turning Point USA, baby? What's your thoughts on it? Nicki Minaj, Turning Point USA. That's Charlie. That's Charlie Kirk's foundation. I mean, what they call it? That's his. I don't even know what to call that motherfucker. Charity. It ain't no charity. It's like a. It's like I don't know. But it's called Turning Point USA. And them niggas got millions of followers and they like hundreds of millions of dollars that be donated to them. And that's the reason why they say he was assassinated, because Charlie Kirk was turning on Jewish people, and some of their biggest sponsors and donators are Jewish people. Pro-Israel people. You know what I'm saying? And when he was turning on them, they turned on him. But I ain't, I don't want YouTube to take the channel down. You know what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all, man, I'm out of here. I'm about to fire up this Jeopardy, and we about to have some fun. And I might throw the link up if y'all want to join it. But I'm out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all for y'all valuable, precious time, because, look, my nigga, time is all we got. Okay? Time eventually will catch up to us, and our time will eventually run out. The question is, are you going to let your time be took from you, cheated from you from a funky savage? Or do you want to live to die of old age, of natural causes or illness? I'd rather go of natural causes. I don't want to die of illness. You know what I'm saying? But I damn sure will not die at the expense of a funky ass savage. Okay? It's other things in this world, other realms, other dimensions, UFOs. I had to shut what up ass up once and for all, because the nigga was saying that it was a Chinese lantern, and I pulled out the video on his ass, and he couldn't say nothing. He couldn't say nothing with that video. A lot of niggas was like T bullshit. And T been said he was gonna show that video for 2 years now. But I finally dug into my hard drive, and I unearthed it, and I showed it. And one more thing before I go. I'm in talks with my brother Jax. Be ready on January the 7th for one of the most epic videos ever. We got the real motherfucking Rambo gonna be in the building, y'all. This nigga is so fucking, and I ain't even trying. I don't juice up another man. I'm not Diddy. I'm not gonna do that. But man, you got to recognize this. This is what Jax told me. Jax got a video on YouTube. He was like, you know what, T, we gonna rock it like this. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. This is your platform, but this is what we're gonna do. I want you to play this video as an introductory to me. So when he come on this live, I mean, this nigga was the first. You know what? I ain't even trying to disrespect, brother. If you watching this, it's no disrespect, but this nigga was the first nigga in the 1991 Gulf War to catch a POW, a prisoner of war. He caught an Iraqi motherfucker. Everything about this nigga is like he on some type of G.I. Joe shit. And I'm not I'm just saying, man, I'm not, praising this dude. I respect, what I'm trying to say is I respect everything that he done. I mean, this nigga is so bad that he came up with his own karate move, and everybody else is using it, including the Delta Force, y'all. So we got a nigga of this caliber that will be on the show on January the 7th at 9 p.m. He was the fucking security for one of the Supreme Court motherfuckers. We got people like that that's part of the gun freak nation. So please, when he come on this podcast, y'all, don't take it as he full of himself or that he just bragging and he's just so macadocious and I'm the biggest. No, man. I actually talked to the brother on the phone. He's a very humble individual. But when you got knowledge like that, and the skills and all that, man, I want it to be spread and shared with the Gun Freak Nation. So please, when y'all watch this, don't make a mockery out of it. Don't make it seem like he's just conceited and he all about himself and he full of himself. Because I can understand why another man, y'all might even judge me. T, why you got this motherfucker on your platform and all he doing is just talking about himself and what? Nah, that ain't it. That's not it. That's not it. He's not about that. I'm gonna try to get him to open up on the UFO stuff that the government not telling you. No, he might not be able to tell it, but I'm telling you, man, he's the truth. He's so established that he is the real Jax. Anybody that played Mortal Kombat, it's a character called Jax. They modeled that character after him, but I'm gonna let him explain that on January the 7th when he come on the live. And anybody else that want to come on my live, hit up my email, TElectrik313 at gmail.com. Let me vet you, because I'm not going to have no weirdo on my shit that's going to try to, get my shit, banned and fell asleep. I thought we was doing Jeopardy. So you just watching your eyelids then.
I'm not asleep. I think I bit my over there. Everything you just said. If I was asleep, I wouldn't hear it.
All right, y'all. I'm about to log off. Thank each and every one of you for joining. No, what up gonna say T wants to give him a lap dance.
Huh?
What up said I want to give Jackson a lap dance. What up? Come on, man. What the hell? See, y'all don't start it. The brother ain't even came on the podcast yet, and y'all don't start. Well, at least What Up don't start it already. What Up? When I have him on the show, you my moderator, man. How the fuck your biggest troll is your motherfucking moderator? How the fuck? What up, you nigga? Man. Respect this man when he come on, y'all. I know he might. I don't even know what to say to that. Yeah, I'm about to get off. I'm about to get off and get on some motherfucking Jeopardy. I love y'all. Gun Freak Nation. Salute, baby. I knew they was going to think that because